Hey everyone, this is S.M. Pratt, and today we're going to talk about secret marketplaces. This is one of the most frequent questions I receive. Where do you buy your cards? Where is the secret oasis of sealed product, first edition WotC Hollows, trophy cards? And it obviously doesn't exist. That's obviously not a thing. But what I'm going to do is give you a list of some of the Japanese sites out there. You can check them out. I'm going to put that link below so you can click on it and just peruse them in your own time. And then I'm also going to tell you and answer that question what sites I actually use. And I'm going to break down how to use these sites, why people use them, and what I think they're going to look like moving forward. So let's start with eBay. I know people are like, eBay's not a Japanese site, but eBay is the open market, and we need to understand the difference between an open market and a restricted market because all these Japanese sites are restricted in some sense. So eBay is the open market because it's the most accessible to the most amount of people. You can make an account and buy anything you want to however much money you have, however much you can afford. And from a selling perspective, I think an easy way to understand the reach and size of eBay is take any highly established large brick and mortar storefront or online storefront, like let's say ABU Games or Troll and Toad. They both use eBay. All stores sell through eBay as well. They don't also sell through Craigslist, or they don't also sell through Mercari. They also sell through eBay because eBay is going to have the most reach and the most exposure. So going into the Japanese sites, starting with the most obvious, it's going to be Yahoo Japan. You probably heard that before, even if you don't use it. It's the most analogous to eBay. It's been around almost as long as eBay. But the difference is it's restricted in the sense that you have to use a middleman. You can't just get on eBay, you can't just get on Yahoo like you can eBay as a non-Japanese citizen. You're going to have to use a middleman service. And while this is a barrier to entry and you also have to use the Japanese characters to search, it's a lot better than some of the others we're going to hit on this list. Because with Yahoo Japan, you can use a proxy bid. So if you have like this Mewtwo Gold Star, the Hoppip came along for the ride. If you have this Mewtwo Gold Star with the bonus Hoppip up for sale on Yahoo, buy it now. You can use that middleman service with the proxy bid, buy it now, you got the auction. Or let's say it's in a bid auction, you put in a bid, it enters it in real time. So moving on to another site is Mercari Japan. Mercari is the same as Mercari in the US, like Craigslist 2.0. You just put stuff up, hopefully someone buys it. The only difference is in Japan, they sell a lot more Japanese Pokemon cards. But Mercari, you have no proxy bid option. You have to use a middleman. However, you have to send them the auction, say what you want to bid or what you want to buy it at, and then you have to wait for them to manually confirm that on their end. So you can see the opportunity cost there. There's going to be a difference between the time you message them and when they do that action. So you can see that gap there leaves exposure for someone else to come in and take that deal. But nonetheless, Mercari is, I'd say it's trending right now. It's trending. It's pretty hot right now. It's something that you didn't hear much about maybe 6 months ago, and now I think a lot more people are talking about it. Keep in mind when I'm saying a lot of people in the serious collector context of like E4 and like we're talking like a very, very, very exceptional minority of the markets. So at the end of the day, Mercari is out there. You'll find the diamond in the rough item. You'll find some deals, but it's going to have even more of a barrier to entry than Yahoo. So going even more niche, if Mercari wasn't niche enough for you, how I like to think of these markets is like eBay's like the highway with all the lights and the signs, the open market. Then you got Yahoo. It's still paved. There's still some signs here and there, lower speed limit, but Mercari is like, we're talking deep south, and then like this Rakuten, Rakuten. This thing is like, we're talking like that deep red dirt, deep south. You're going to need a middleman just to navigate and tell you what's going on. I mean, this place is so niche. And again, there's a link below because I'm going to butcher the name Rakuten. I don't even know if that's how it's pronounced. I know I'm American, and I know that's a Japanese word. So at the end of the day, this is even more niche than Mercari. But again, it's another one of these sites, just like Mercari, where you have to use a middleman. You cannot use a proxy bid. It's something where you have to, again, go through this process of messaging, have someone from Japan just literally buy it for you because it's restricted from overseas purchases. Another hole in the wall site, I don't know if this one is actually used as much anymore, and it's going to be Yugi Yahara One Stop Shop. It's like a full sentence is the store's name. But that was one you heard about 4 years ago. I would say like 2014 you really heard about that, but I don't hear much about that today. So that's another one. It's going to be pretty identical to Mercari. Same process of going through middleman and having them buy it for you. And then last but not least, we have kind of a curveball, which is Mandarake Japan. Mandarin Japan's interesting because you still have to use the Japanese characters to search, but you could buy it as yourself. You don't need the middleman. Mandarake's like, wait a minute, there's a larger market outside Japan. Maybe we should tap into that and see what happens. Sure enough, it creates more business and opportunity, and now you can go in there and just buy it yourself. Now, keep in mind, there's some items that will be restricted to a region. Like you'll see, let's say, whatever, like this Pikachu DPT card, you'll see this listed, and it might say only in the Osaka storefront, and you have to get it in person. So you'll have those exceptions, but at the end of the day, you can still go in there and buy it yourself. So that is the list. Yahoo, Mercari, Rakuten, Yugi Yahira, which I'm not sure if that's really active much, and then Mandarake. That is the list of the secret sites. And for those people who ask me what sites do I use, my answer is Yahoo and eBay. That's all I use. That's it. When people ask about the sites, it's not about the sites. It's like when you ask LeBron, like, what ball do you use? What shoes you wearing? What stick flex do you use, Gretzky? That's not what it's about. You're all playing with the same puck, the same rules, the same ball. It's about that knowledge. It's about that risk appetite. It's about, timing, a little bit of luck, your cash flow. There's a lot that goes into it. Sure, the marketplace can help, but at the end of the day, that's not the name of the game. If your prerogative is, I need to find a place to buy cards, it's not going to end well, because that is something that's always going to be adapting. And for a lot of people, they're like, wait, why do people mess with all these barriers to entry? The number one reason why people use these sites, these cards that sell are well under market value. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I think the number one reason is the people selling them don't have the experience serious collectors do. Serious collectors, it's like a second nature. You're just like, okay, I search every day. This is just like a memory muscle for you, like an athlete who does something over and over again. For these individuals, they might have won a one at a tournament, or one of their buddies gave them a card and they're like, okay, I just want to get rid of it, so I'm going to put it on Mercari, or I'm going to put it on one of these hole-in-the-wall websites, and that's just how I want to sell it, because I don't I'm not versed on eBay, I'm not versed on these larger sites. So I think that's why a lot of this stuff is under market value, sometimes severely under market value, which immediately gets sniped within real time. My opinion on that pattern is that I think it's going to exhaust itself. I think the end game of this over-optimization that we're in, everyone's optimizing everything. Anytime there's a new path, a new opportunity, people are overly optimizing it, and the end of that is exhaustion. So if we look at Yahoo Japan today, people are like, oh yeah, I get some deals on Yahoo, right? Not anything close to what it was in 2014. In 2014, you could blindly buy gold stars all mint. You could blindly buy a lot of stuff that just simply isn't available anymore. I mean, look at the players' gold star evolutions. Those were there all day. Even like the Espeon Umbreon. It was just a matter of, do I want to pay that? Do I want to wait? That was the name of the game back then. But now, those aren't consistently available anymore on Yahoo because it's more optimized. And that's not just from an overseas perspective. That's more internally with the Japanese. There's a lot more Japanese businesses becoming aware of the market and the potential of selling outside the US, because these websites are insulated and constructed for the Japanese. That's why there's so many hurdles for someone outside of Japan to buy, because they aren't made for overseas buyers. They're made strictly for Japanese buyers. It's not even an opinion. It's literally in the construct of the design of the website. So that is my opinion on what I think is going to happen. I think this over-optimization is going to exhaust this. That doesn't mean you won't find, keep your eye on it, keep being engaged. I bought a lot of stuff privately. I bought a lot of stuff on eBay. Maybe some of it I was first to message the guy. Maybe I was first to snipe it or buy it, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you can't win it all. I know the catchphrase is got to catch them all, but you can't get every deal. That's just something you got to be able to accept. And for the patrons, they know this already when I talk about some of the purchases I make. Even on PWCC, even things that are right in front of everyone's eyes with the most amount of advertisement, there's so many deals that I'm just buying. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. That one's, going a little bit lower than that one. They're right there on the open market as well. So I think that's the fallacy. If you look at Yahoo Japan from 2014 to 2018, Yahoo Japan 2014 is very analogous to like Mercari today. And people are like, oh yeah, I could blindly buy stuff, but that's going to very quickly evaporate. That's something that, even that Master's Key scenario. There's a Master's Key that went up for 500,000 yen, and within like 2 hours, they had like 10 messages from Japanese, European, English buyers, American buyers. They had people interested all over the place. So at the end of the day, it's something that is already pretty optimized. It's just going to become even more. So there you go. That's my objective take on it. I don't have a dog in the fight. You know, I'm just putting this out there for people to use as a resource because it's up to them, just like everyone else. I'm just giving that exposure for anyone who is interested. So there you go. That is pretty much everything I have on the secret markets. They are not really secret. They are more restricted is the better term. And that is, again, because they're made by Japanese, for Japanese. They are not intended for overseas buyers, but there are middleman options to navigate those sites. So there you go, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this was useful. And that's pretty much everything I have. Until next time.